Welcome to UGC E-Pathshala course on Japanese history and society. This is module number 16 with the title Tokugawa Shogunate. Shogunate is the political administration of the nation. Tokugawa is the era from 1602 to 1868. The era of Tokugawa began in the year 1602 that continued till 1868 when Meiji Restoration happened. However, before the Tokugawa era began in 1602, it was a quite confusing in absence of a national political administrative authority existing in the whole of Japan. There were upheavals quite often, and daimyos, who were the local chieftains, they were always fighting for power between each other and for hegemony. We can know just before the establishment of Tokugawa era, there was quite a weakness and inefficiency throughout the Ashikaga shogunate that preceded Tokugawa period. However, it was the Oda Nobunaga and also Toyotomi Hideyoshi who were two most prominent powerful personality also attempting to establish a national level political unification. They did not succeed totally. However, the process of unification of Japan were gradually achieved, and Toyotomi Hideyoshi and his grand ambitions for the nation establishment of political unity and political power gradually was realized. However, the confusing period before the establishment of Tokugawa period can be seen in this picture, where several dynasties were at fight with each other for extending their power, establishing their hegemony. However, gradually this had to be put an end to, and warring states period actually before Tokugawa period extended from 1467 to 1602, and establishment of Tokugawa shogunate happened actually in the year in the year 1602 with Ieyasu Tokugawa assuming power and authority, and he got into his position by winning a battle of Sekigahara. Administrative reforms were carried out by Ieyasu. At the same time, Ieyasu and Christian missionaries were also at loggerheads. Ieyasu wanted to stop the spread of Christianity by curbing number of Christians present in Japan, if not throughout, at least in the southernmost prefecture of southernmost island of Kyushu, and mostly for trading purposes, foreigners were confined in a small island called Dejima, which happens to be off Nagasaki prefecture. And while curbing the Christian missionaries and their spread of Christian beliefs and also conversion activities, Ieyasu succeeded quite considerably. This is the picture of Tokugawa Ieyasu shogun. Tokugawa Japan is known for hierarchical division of the society. Samurais, that is the warlords who were at the top of the society's ranking socially, and the way of warriors is called Bushido. Actually, samurai culture and Bushido culture is almost same. There is not much of a difference. Second in ranking in social hierarchy were farmers, and third were artisans, and fourth were merchants. Merchants, since they dealt with transportation of goods and services, especially agricultural products and also some industrial products which were for distribution meant throughout the country. They were at the lowest because they were touching money, and touching money and dealing with money is not considered as a respectful activity in the Japanese society because of ethics there of Confucian origin at the time. Artisans were just above merchants. Artisans actually formed construction workers, even especially carpenters and painters, etc. Farmers were the actually cultivators who engaged in farming of rice and paddy fields, and these were the ones who were paying tax, and actually farming activity was one of the most widely prevalent activity as an economic activity during Tokugawa period. And samurais, that is the military and the administrative class of Tokugawa period, were actually on top. They were actually known for military discipline or military like discipline, and they were the ones who actually, by imbibing the Confucian culture of loyalty and discipline, developed personalities of almost all. They almost were in a way models for rest of the society, and samurais, farmers, artisans and merchants actually constituted Japanese feudal society. When we said this is the typical picture of a farming couple in Japanese rural village during Tokugawa period. Economic structure of Tokugawa Japan is another interesting area without which we cannot actually say that we have informed you about Tokugawa period. Tokugawa society was a feudal society. When we say a feudal society, it is almost commonly experienced stage in the evolution of history of a nation. Here when we say it was a evolutionary stage in most of the Asian and European societies. However, it is not a necessary stage in the evolution of feudal society. Economy with the agrarian base is the most important and visible and observable characteristic features of the feudal economy. Taxation and the revenue generation by the shogun was the visible activity that administration ruthlessly carried out in mobilizing resources through revenue from taxation alone, and expenditure were really quite a lot for the whole of the nation from the central authority. The condition of the peasantry was not very happy because even when crops failed, they had to pay the tax, and most of the early Tokugawa period farmers were farming only for subsistence level, that is for their own family or the community level. But gradually in the later part of the Tokugawa period, we come to know and we have facts to prove that agriculture had become almost a economically viable activity for the society. And Tokugawa shogun actually had instituted quite a few disciplinary characteristic features for the purpose of administering the entire society. One is called Sankin Kotai, that is actually alternate residence of daimyos in the headquarters, that is at Edo. Sankin Kotai, when we say alternate attendance system, the Japanese archipelago was divided politically, as the scholars say, some from 250 provincial provinces and up to a maximum of 265 provincial provinces. These were ruled by local chieftains by name daimyos, and the shogun was at the top of it. He actually ruled from Edo, which is now present day Tokyo, and Tokugawa establishment actually had certain few layers. One of the immediate layer was the central government, which was Tokugawa dynasty and some of the related daimyos of the Tokugawa dynasty. They formed the core of Tokugawa administration, who actually extended from Mito, that is the present day Ibaraki prefecture in the immediate northern part of Tokyo. That went through Ibaraki to present day Tokyo, Saitama, Kanagawa, Shizuoka, and finally at Nagoya, that is actually Aichi prefecture, and then extended beyond Tokyo up to Wakayama prefecture. Therefore, it is from Ibaraki present till Wakayama present that actually formed the Tokugawa inner administrative powerful core of the bureaucracy and the authority existing. In rest of the Japan, that is northernmost part of Japan, and southernmost, that is Shikoku and Kyushu, some of the lesser influential political daimyos who are powerful, who are fighting amongst themselves, were confined to such a peripheral thing. Therefore, when we say Tokugawa shogunate, we have to understand one which is a central authority led with the shogunate, which is located in Edo, that is Tokyo, and most of the daimyos spread out throughout the Japanese archipelago. There were also closure of the nation for any political contact, any economic contact. That was shutting down of the nation for international or even regional contact was one of the most prominent features of Tokugawa period, because they closed down the borders. They did not allow even many Japanese, even for reasons of business to go out and come in so easily. Those Japanese who were somewhere in East Asia, like be it China, be it present day Southeast Asian region, Tokugawa shogunate decreed that they need not re-enter Japan to establish their living with the local people. At the same time, those within Japan need not get out. So, almost it was confined to Japanese territory, that is within the archipelago of Japan, constituting the major 4 islands. However, Sankin-Kotai system alongside of closing for all foreign contact purposes Japan were 2 major events that we can actually notice during Tokugawa period. It is policy of isolation and Sankin-Kotai system. This is the real picture of Edo Castle built subsequent to Ieyasu's period in Tokyo. A part of it today even now exists in Tokyo as a part of Tokyo Imperial Palace. Tokugawa shogunate fell actually towards the close of the period. Arrival of Commodore Perry was one of the main reason. Treaty of Kanagawa was signed at the end of the isolation of Japan, opening Japan for commercial contact with foreigners to begin with the United States. Unequal treaties were signed for reasons of extraterritoriality. Sunno Joi, that is, Rever the Emperor, dispel the barbarians, was one of the most widely prevalent slogans of the day. Rise of anti-Bakufu forces also happened at that time, and however, internal bickerings also caused the end of the shogunate, and Meiji restoration occurred in the year 1868. This is the Black Ship, most popularly referred to, in which Commodore C. Matthew Perry arrived in Japan with his soldiers, forcing Japan to sign Treaty of Kanagawa. In summary, we would like to update your knowledge that unification Japan politically happened thanks to Tokugawa Ieyasu's vision of future, how to consolidate political authority for the whole of the nation. However, although there were some efforts before, subsequently it was only Ieyasu's successors who have established political authority throughout the nation, that we call unification of Japan. Then peace and harmony prevailed, but for 2 events which are known. One is called Shimabara rebellion of the year 1637 of Nagasaki. There were certain pockets of Christian influence in order to curb the conversion activities, and also in order to redistribute land among the Japanese people only. There were some trouble which is called Shimabara rebellion. Another one is 47 Ronins, actually symbol of samurai culture, is carrying a sword, and it is used basically to curb the enemy's political influence or advances. However, one little known daimyo opened his sword and attacked people within the castle, and this caused a big confusion, and he was compelled to commit suicide, that is harakiri or seppuku. And with this, some of these lesser known daimyos suicide actually sent alarm amongst his own loyal people. So then 47 samurais together finally committed seppuku, that is harakiri, that is self killing. With this event, which is also a bit disturbing Japanese medieval history, but for this Shimabara rebellion and 47 Ronin's seppuku, there were otherwise, broadly speaking, peace and harmony that existed in Tokugawa period. Institutional changes happened, particularly bureaucracy, in which samurais took a great role, and gradually the ethical fiber that was influencing Japan was especially from China, that is Confucian philosophy, and social institutions that were set up, and loyalty became most important feature of the Japanese society, and virtually within family, within community, within the region, then in the whole country, peace and harmony prevailed. social structure, as we said, it had a 4 major distinctly classified parts of society. That is samurais at the top, then farmers next, then artisans followed, and finally it was merchants. However, it is not confined only to these 4. Outside of these 4 established class system, there were also outcasts who were virtually classified as burakumin, what we call today, himin, shinmin. Finally, even for their political, social, educational rights, they have been fighting throughout. However, social outcast still prevails, of course, outside of the Japanese legal references. Preservation of culture and tradition was from Tokugawa period that continues in many areas, manifesting some of the finest features of Japanese society even now. Some criticisms do occur because it is a feudal society. Fine, in evolution of any society, historically, we find this without even excluding European experiences. So, yes, it was a feudal society, but however, it was the feudal society that alone credited Japan with some of the finest parts of their achievements as a major nation, and that with end of this feudal period, with the arrival of Meiji period from 1868 and onward, we see really Japan prospering greatly towards modern age. However, by now you have come to know about the social structure of Japan, at the same time how political institutions were freshly introduced and existing ones were consolidated. And any Japanese political medieval, that is especially feudal political system, without reference to economic system will remain incomplete. However, to introduce you briefly to Japanese economic system that prevailed during Tokugawa period, land, as earlier has been seen, was one of the major factor leading to economic activities, that is agriculture. Agriculture was widely prevalent. Virtually every rural patch of Japan engaged in agricultural activities. Nationally speaking, there were one of the major crops produced was rice. Subsequently, there were also other products like barley, never wheat, and because of rice heavy cultivation, it also allowed some of the small scale but nationwide industries to come up, like breweries. Sake brewing actually goes back to, in its origin, to Tokugawa early phases, and ink industries, that is small scale calligraphic ink industries came up. Industrial products were, however, minimum, and some of the major garment industries did not exist, but Japanese imported through Dutch people via Nagasaki the Chinese finest silk embroidered ones for elite classes. When we say entire imperial, elite, shogunal, merchant and artisan sections depended heavily on the imported silk and silk robes, it was speaking in a way trade that was prevalent, however in smaller scale between other Asian countries, but through Europeans between Japan and other Asian countries. China was one of the major trading, or Chinese products were major products that was traded with Japan, though through European hands. And here in East Asian waters, European merchants were already prevalent, and however they wanted to grab the market of Japan because of its isolation and closing down of their national territory for any foreign relations. Because of that policy, there were only through small pockets of Dejima present Dutch merchants, Chinese goods were traded with Japan. And moreover, locally speaking, there was always the national shogunal government depending upon the military. Often at the lowest level, what we call the foot soldiers, that is ashigaru in Japanese, sometimes readily available farming class, especially male able-bodied adults, they were the ones who were constituting and supplying almost as necessary men to local smaller level army. However, building more of that and trying to exercise their influence on the neighboring other smaller daimyos, extending one's own territorial political influence was one of the major activities. Because of rice being one of the major agricultural products throughout Japan, there came up many warehouses. We can take the examples of Osaka of those days, that it was one of the world's largest rice warehouse. From the beginning and the medieval period of Tokugawa period, when we reach actually 18th century, 19th century first part, that was the time actually we have small scale businesses growing into medium and medium into large scale. Some of the large merchant houses that were present, who were prevalent in more than one of the business activities, also were championing the causes of financial institutions, otherwise what we call private banking functioning houses, and they were even lending money as and when necessary for shogunates also and to many daimyos before. Mitsui is one of the best examples, which was virtually prevalent in most part of and most phases of economic activity, lending and borrowing. And moreover, merchants also provided transportation facilities for moving goods. And Sankin Kotai, that what we have mentioned, alternate residents of daimyo, they had to keep their families virtually every alternate phases in Edo and return to their place, not their families, but they themselves. And movement of people, especially in the Tokaido region, that is the highway, national highway from the Edo to Kyoto, that was one of the finest scenery that many Japanese historians or cultural historians have explained. And moreover, tax was the basis of major part of revenue of the national government, even of daimyos. And virtually the land held by the shoguns overall was about 7 million koku, and rest of Japan held about 24 million koku, meaning 1/3 of the or 1/4 of the land was owned by shogunal family itself, that is Edo based shogunal family itself, which formerly we referred to as the core shogunate. Rest of the daimyos were only sent to peripheral area. However, political, societal and economic phases of Japanese society or Tokugawa Japan was one of the finest period that we come across in the just pre-modern period, that has virtually given even for today's Japan, that is contemporary Japan, many of the social and ethical base. Thank you.